I was itching to know what were the formative steps, and again, it just chimes with everything I believe about creativity and that freedom to find out what we've hit upon. So that's wonderful. That's wonderful to know that you were kind of given something of a blank canvas to do that in, and it just doesn't it just go to show, when people are given the trust and given the backing, that great things can happen.
Yeah, that's happened on a number of occasions really with me. It did it as a school teacher. It did with Fiji because we've come to that, but and with England at the start it did because I took over a sevens program. I won't get into bore you too much, but basically I just couldn't access the players that the team used to be able to access. So I had to think creatively about how to do stuff, and I was on to a hide into nothing really at the start. So my bosses kind of just let me get on with it. As long as I didn't spend what budget they gave me, they let me do whatever I wanted to really. And before that, I'd been at a club where exactly the same. They had just avoided relegation. They were in the third tier and they had let me crack on with stuff as well. And as long as you kind of let people know what you're doing and you manage well, which I kind of have done badly and done well, in England, I didn't particularly up-manage well at all to my bosses. I always thought it was their job to manage me and tell me what my KPIs are and when I'd get reviewed and stuff. But up-managing is a two-way process for sure. And I did that really well with Fiji because I had a military dictator and a convicted murderer as my two bosses. So I had to up-manage well. So as long as you kind of set your stall out and you keep people informed and you don't give too many people above you curveballs that will embarrass them or then I think, you can be allowed when you start your journey to just go and do your own thing.
Did that become your norm? Did you think that's just what these roles are? Because I guess if they're your early roles, there's a chance that you think, well, this is what coaching is, and all roles are going to be this free.
Yeah, I think, well, that's probably how I came unstuck at England, because that's how I started my time with England. And then as the team became a bit more successful, as we got a bit more budget and as it was kind of under the microscope a bit more, my bosses were getting more and more involved, but not involved. So, the sort of bosses that would come in at a meeting when you've just spent 4 weeks preparing a team, flown to New Zealand, maybe lost a game because someone's, dropped a ball or whatever, and you've really put your heart and soul into it, and then that boss will just tell you, oh, that guy's rubbish, drop him. And you get pretty angry when people try to get involved when they've actually not really been involved. Mm-hmm. And that was becoming more and more the case. So my eye was getting taken off the ball more by budget meetings and planning meetings and actually getting the boys to be their best version. And and to the point where I really fell out of love totally with professional sport, didn't want anything to do with it. And that's when kind of combination of either I definitely would have been pushed if I hadn't kind of finally jumped.